Hello, and welcome to 12-Minute Meditation, a weekly podcast from Mindful and Mindful.org that offers mindfulness meditations backed by neuroscience. If you've been practicing, you know that 12 minutes of meditation a day can yield benefits like increased attention, focus, creativity, calm, resilience, and compassion. The latest scientific research supports this knowledge. So on this podcast, we invite you to do your 12-minute practice with guided meditations from today's leading mindfulness experts. We share a new practice each week, providing you with new ways to experience some of those benefits day to day. I'm Siri Myram, contributing editor at Mindful and Mindful.org. In recent years, mental health professionals have raised the alarm about the growing epidemic of loneliness. Millions of people feel separated and isolated, even when they are surrounded by colleagues or thousands of social media acquaintances. In today's guided practice, Shelly Harrell offers one mindful approach that can counteract this sense of lonely atomization. It is the South African greeting of Sawubona, which carries an intentional willingness to see and to be seen in our fullness, vulnerability, mutual belonging, and radiance. Born and raised in Detroit, Dr. Shelly Harrell is an award-winning, Harvard-educated, and UCLA-trained psychologist, as well as a certified meditation teacher and founder of the Soulfulness Center. As an experienced therapist, mentor, and professor, she has been helping, healing, teaching, and training for over 30 years. This meditation is part of our Powerful Women of the Mindfulness Movement series, where we will be sharing guided practices from the women featured in our 2025 edition of Mindful Magazine. If you'd like more guided practices and mindfulness insights, you can get the magazine and subscribe at mindful.org. You can subscribe to 12-Minute Meditation while you're on mindful.org or wherever you find your favorite podcasts. And if you're moved to leave us a review, we'd be grateful, and so will other listeners. See, your review helps them to decide whether 12-minute meditation is for them. For now, for you, here's Shelly Harrell.
Hello, my name is Dr. Shelly Harrell, and I am pleased to share a practice with you that I developed and was inspired by the South African greeting, Sawubona. Sawubona means we see you, often translated as I see you. It's important to understand that in an African worldview context, this is an extended I, as the self is experienced as collective. When greeted with Sawubona, it is a communication that you are seen, accepted, and cared about, not just by the individual, but by the ancestors and the interconnected community that we carry within. When we greet each other with Sawubona, we are accepting the responsibility to see that person with collective and transcendent eyes. The Sawubona greeting is an affirmation and communication of our connectedness with each other, with community, with our ancestors, and ultimately with the invisible and eternal life force that is within all things. We don't always see each other fully, and we can get lost in the superficiality, transactional relating, rushed and distracted norms that dominate many of our interactions. Sawubona seeing requires being fully present in heart, mind, and soul so that we can see behind, beneath, and beyond appearances. It recognizes that everyone has a story we do not know and circumstances we do not fully understand. Sawubona is a fully embodied seeing that is consistent with the intent of the African American communal saying, I feel you. Strengthening Sawubona seeing involves resisting participation in dehumanization and othering, being willing to see and feel the interconnected humanity of ourselves and others. And once we see, we then have a responsibility to live in alignment with our seeing. So let's start by taking a deep, centering breath, inhaling deeply to clear space, gently sweeping the clutter in your mind, opening a passageway to that deepest part of your being. And then exhaling a nice, long exhale through your mouth, settling into yourself in full presence in this moment with this practice. Let's take another centering breath, a deep inhale, opening up your heart space, receiving what you need in this moment. And exhaling slowly to release any inner blocks or toxins that don't serve you. Another full clearing inhale. Receive what you need. Open your heart. And a nice releasing exhale. Release, let go, and flow down to that inner river, settling on the riverbanks of your soul center. Let's start our Sawubona practice. I invite you now to bring to mind a person, group, or community that you care about. It could be someone going through something difficult who may be struggling or suffering, who may feel unseen and unheard. Compassion begins with a willingness to really see, hear, and feel another person. Compassionate action is energized by love and infused with the truth of another's lived and embodied experience. So visualize this person, group, or community in your mind's eye. Feel them in your heart and soul. Now imagine encountering that person or group. Greet them with Sawubona and the intentions of its deepest meanings to see, hear, and feel another. Meeting them where they are, meeting them in their truth. As you greet them, send them the energy of Sawubona with genuineness, humility, and care. Bring them into your mind's eye and your heart center. You greet them and say, Sawubona. You are saying, I see you. I see you through eyes that transcend my own sight, that transcend the visible and the material. I see you beyond your conditions and circumstances. I see you behind the walls you have put up and the masks you have put on. I see you as more than what you have done or what has been done to you. I see your humanity and your humanness. I see you at your best, thriving, soaring, and manifesting your greatest purpose and soul's calling. I see the soul of who you are. I see you. Take a deep breath, inhaling through your nose, exhaling through your mouth, and bringing this person or persons into your mind's eye. You greet them and say, Sawubona. You are saying, I hear you. I hear you through ears tuned in to the whisperings of soul and spirit. I hear you behind what has been silenced or muted. I hear you beneath what you say, beneath the words you use and the language you speak. I hear you beyond what I want to hear. I hear the voice of your deepest longings, your truest intentions, and your highest aspirations. I hear your cries and I hear your celebrations. I hear your song, your story, your truth. I hear the soul of who you are. I hear you. Take a deep breath. Bring your person and persons into your mind's eye, into your heart. You greet them and say, Sawubona. You are saying, I feel you. I feel you from the vibration of our oneness, where our souls recognize each other. I feel you behind the visible and invisible barriers that separate us. I feel you beneath our differences in that space of our interconnectedness with each other and all life. I feel the power of the ancestors flowing through you over generations, across space and time. I feel your rhythm, your flow, your energy, your unique vibration in the world. I feel your vulnerability and your victories, your struggles and your strengths, your tears and your triumphs, your regrets and your risings. I feel your light and your glow, your goodness and your love. I feel the soul of who you are. I feel you. Take a deep breath. Sawubona. I'd like to offer just a few thoughts for reflection, discussion, journaling. And I encourage you to imagine your next encounter with the person or group you visualized and imagine greeting them with Sawubona and all that means. And in doing that, what might be different in your interaction with them? What would it look like, feel like if you were to bring the energy of Sawubona to how you interact, meet, greet, and see others more generally, your day-to-day life? Finally, how might you bring the energy of Sawubona to how you meet, greet, and see yourself. Let's take a final deep breath together. Inhaling deeply, holding, and exhaling slowly through your mouth. Thank you for engaging in this practice with me. Sawubona.
Thank you for joining us for this episode of 12-Minute Meditation from Mindful and Mindful.org. I hope you enjoyed practicing with us today. We'll be back in 7 days with another meditation practice to enrich your journey. In the meantime, stay connected by signing up for our free newsletter at mindful.org/sign-up for compelling insights and actionable ideas to enrich your everyday life. That's mindful.org/SIGNUP.